Hey guys, Pi here. This is going to be my review of the Gossamer Gear 2. Me and my buddy Cheesebeard, we slept in this quite a few nights on the CDT, and I'm going to go through all the details of it. What I would recommend is I also already have a review of the Gossamer Gear One. That's going to go into a lot more details on the specifics of the tent. So what I would recommend is that you go ahead and you watch the review for the One first, and then come back to this video just so you're going to get a little bit more detail. So the 2 from Gossamer Gear is another single wall design with a full bathtub floor. It takes 2 trekking poles to set up, or you can use the poles that Gossamer Gear sells. The tent weighs 29 ounces on its own. It packs down pretty small, as you can see. The tent retails for $389. One of the big differences between the 2 and the 1 is the fact that there's a guy out point on this mid panel here. I actually really like this, and I kind of wish they did it with the 1 because it pulls the tent away from your head when you're sitting up at night. It just literally is a guy line here that you just take an extra stake and you stake it out.
One of the times I had laid out the 2 to dry after a heavy night of condensation, I laid it out and the guy line got snagged on some brush, and when I picked up the tent, it actually tore off the little tab and the guy line off the tent. This was totally my fault, but it is just good to remember that because this material is so thin, it does tear pretty easily if you put some force to it.
So the Gossamer Gear 2 has 2 doors on it, which to me, if 2 people are sharing a tent, is vital. The main reason being, if someone wants to get up in the night and use the bathroom, they can get out on their side without disturbing the other person. There's also then the space on both sides for people to put their gear in, and if you're cooking at night, one cooks on this side and one cooks on the other. As you can see, the vestibule on the 2 is also really huge. Really good for storing all your gear or putting a dog in. And what you could do if you were 2 people, you could have this side completely open but then keep that side closed for storage. So exactly the same setup as in the 1. You can have both doors open or closed and open this bug mesh here. The one thing I didn't really like about the 2, we had a couple of nights where it was super windy on trail, and these huge big panels here kind of act like a sail. Even if you've got those points guyed out, it did come right down on top of us, and this panel here was touching our heads. Obviously you're not going to be in crazy winds a lot of the time, but it is a factor that should be considered. If you know you're going to an area where there's a lot of wind, you might be better off with a freestanding tent. In terms of living space inside the tent, it's great. You've got all this open area to cook and store your gear. I can sit up pretty tall in it and not touch the sides. And then inside the tent itself, what I will say about this is me and Cheesebeard shared this tent and it was fine, but honestly I think for an extended trip, if we were sharing a tent, I would want something a little bit roomier because we were kind of on top of each other a little bit. What I think this tent is perfect for is a couple. If you're a couple and you're doing a through hike, then this tent is perfect. There is plenty of space, that being said. They have the same designers on the 1, so I can lay down here and there's probably a foot above me and a foot below. Same with Cheesebeard, he's a bit taller, but he still had plenty of room to lay down. There's a pocket on both sides, one here and one on the other side. Super simple, straightforward design. Alright, so that's the Gossamer Gear The Two. It's an amazing 2-person tent. Do me a huge favour, like the video and subscribe, and stay tuned for some more videos.